Hey Art Studio One and advanced people. Today we're going to draw an elephant because we're still in our animal unit. So I just wanted to show you a picture of what our elephant is going to look like, hopefully, by the end of this. I didn't finish shading in his little ear because I got busy. But hopefully you guys will finish yours and then send me um, a picture through email and I will use it to add extra points to things that you need. All right, ready? So the first thing you're going to need is pencil and piece of paper. You know how much I love drawing like this, so I'm going to do this. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to start with the head of our elephant. So his head starts with this little lump right here. So it's like a little curved line, like a sort of a rainbow. And then we're going to make the side part of his face because his ears kind of attached to everything. So we're going to get the shape of his face to go first. So the shape of his face starts like this. It's like this curvy little line, and it comes down and it goes like this. So we have this little curvy line. We're going to do the same thing to the other side now. So we're going to have this curved line that comes down and then curves down. So we'll have this little shape right here. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to make these two little, okay, so where the trunk starts, we're going to start putting in that the trunk is in this area. So the trunk always overlaps right in here and right in here. So we have this shape now. I know elephants' faces are really, really wrinkly and they have lots of folds in them. So we're getting into the part where we have all the folds. So these two little pieces that you just drew are where the tusks are going to come out. And now we're going to draw another section of our trunk and it's going to come way down and it's going to hook up like this and it's going to come down again on the other side like so. Remember, their trunks get smaller towards the bottom. And so we have this little extra piece right here, and we're just gonna loop it around. So you can have this shape right here. Give you a second to catch up. All right, so the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna connect this little line right here and this little line right here. And then we're going to connect this area right here and this area right here. So we're connecting stuff. All right, so now we're going to put in these ears. So this elephant is trying to scare us off. So his ears are going to stick way out like this on both sides. Let's see if we can try to get them even. There, so they're going to be out this far on both sides. All right, so now we're going to get the shape of these ears. They come way out and around like this, and they have these little extra pieces right in here. So same thing with this side. It's going to go way out and around. I'm measuring. You know how Mrs. Comstock likes to measure. I like my stuff to look sort of the same. So you have two ears. It's okay if they don't look the same. Sometimes people, when they're drawing elephants, they make butterfly ears. So you have like that surrealism, that dreamlike aspect to your drawing. If you guys want to do butterfly ears on your elephant or even like bird wings, you are more than welcome to because we will end up doing some stuff like that later on. All right. So then this part, we got to make the top of the ear like your little cartilage that holds your ear up. We're going to do that on both sides. Just like so. And we're going to come back in. We're going to put some eyes in before we put all that body stuff in. So elephants' eyes are right up in this area because remember they have that big extra top of their head. So we're going to have some elephant eyes. They're just ovals. They're going to come in just like so. And then elephants are very wrinkly and they have like tired looking eyes. So we're going to put some tired looking eyes around our elephant and we're going to give him some eyebrows. Well, it's actually skin, but it looks like eyebrows. So we're going to do this, and you guys can put a pupil into your elephant's eye as well, so that way he doesn't look like he's crazy. He's just going to look tired now. Probably like the way you all feel too in the morning, just exhausted. All right, so right up in this area, we're going to start adding like all those little wrinkles that come into the trunk to show the bridge. Like when we're doing people, we have like the bridge of our nose. Elephants, we're going to show like the roundness of their trunk. So their trunk actually starts way up here. So we're going to add some little curvy lines to our elephant to show that he has all this stuff going on. And you can bring those lines right down. And then I would curve it with the direction that the trunk is going at the bottom. So that way he looks rounded. All right. So up here, they always have that big forehead that has like that big bump on it. So we're going to put some lines in here indicating that he's got that big bump. When you go back and shade this, you can do some shading right in this area to show that his brain's sticking out up there because he's so smart. All right. Let's put those tusks in. So tusks come out on an elephant and they kind of do this curve and then they come out. It almost looks like we're drawing a banana right over here. So we got one tusk. And then, okay. So I've seen elephants with them that are completely even, and I've seen elephants with them that are completely not even. So it is up to you. Maybe one of them has been broken off in battle. Never know. All right, so this is our elephant's head. What we need to do next is draw like some sort of body that's kind of going on with them. The one that I showed you right on this page, you can see the whole body. So if you drew small, you can draw the whole body. And if you drew really big like me, you might not get it in. All right, I know that his first little foot is going to end up like right down here. So I might be able to fit him in. So I'm going to indicate where his first foot is going to be, and then I'm going to indicate where the foot next to him is going to be, because I know it might be a little tight right here, and I don't want to make him look too stumpy, because elephants are actually pretty tall. So we have like our indication where his little legs are going to be, and then I'm going to put an indication where his back leg is going to be, because I want to know how I'm drawing him. And guys, please don't just draw a floating head. Actually try to put a body on your elephant. So this leg is going to come all the way up, just like this. And this leg is going to come all the way up. And then stop right about in the same area. So this is the neat part. We're going to do this side first, okay? So our elephant has they always have rolls, right? Because they're elephants. They have this big, massive body and everything. So we have this first little roll, and then the next one we're going to connect up to the ear. That's like the side of our elephant. So it's going to come way down. No, my elephant's starting to look like a balloon. I might go back and thin him out afterwards, but we'll see what was going on. So then we have this one, and we have this little roll that comes up like this. It's going to come all the way up because we want to show some depth to our elephant. So he's starting to look like a balloon. And then we have one more section for his leg and the back of him, okay? So this little leg is going to come up now and connect to that last roll that we put in. And then this part of the leg's going to come up and it's going to there we go. Get some overlapping going on. Remember, overlapping is when something is in front of something else. Sorry, wasn't holding my paper very well. Okay, so things we're going to fix on this elephant. First thing I'm going to fix is the fact that his body is huge. Hold on. Our elephant has been eating way too well, which is not a bad thing, but that side that I said I was going to fix and go back and erase, I'm going to erase it, and I'm going to make that side a little bit smaller. So I erased this side right here, and I'm just going to go back in and just bring that down a little bit more. So that way he comes down this way. So he has more of that curved angle for his body. I'm not going to lie to you guys, it is so much easier to draw when I am on the table flat. And then I just fixed that roll that was next to him. I'll show you it again. I'm just touching up that side that I wasn't able to draw very well because I was holding it up next to my shoulder. I think what happened was he ended up looking kind of crazy because all of his rolls were up or down really, really low, making him look a lot wider than he actually is. So I'm just touching up some of these things. I'll hold it up for you guys so you can catch up really quick. This is so much easier when we have that document camera next to us, isn't it? All right, I'm erasing that whole back leg. The struggle is real today, guys. All right, so what I'm doing is I fixed up this side right here, thinned him up a little bit, and I'm going to go back and fix this side because I just can't stand the way it looks. So I erase that back leg, and I have this the first little roll that's showing right here, and then I'm going to put in the second one right here, and this is really hard to do. I'm going to bring it out like this, and I'm going to stop this little curve right in here, and then I'm going to bring this little leg out at an angle this time, so that way it definitely looks like it's behind him. And I'm going to curve it back right where it was before, but this time I'm just going to put it at a little bit of an angle, almost like he's in motion instead of just standing there staring at us. So this is what I got. Oh yeah, that is way better than what I had before. It's important to go back and fix things that you notice are off a little bit or look a little bit weird to you, because it really helps you grow as an artist, especially in those drawing skills. And since we are drawing a ton of animals, we really want to notice little details so that way our animal doesn't look like misshapen. All right, so we're not totally done yet. We need to put in little toenails. I think they have like 3 or 4 toenails. So I'm going to put 4 on each one of mine. They're just little curvy lines. So I'm going to put some little toenails on him. I'm going to come back in here and put his little nostril that's showing right over here, and then the other one that's not yet showing over on the other side, because it's kind of like overlap. I'm going to fill him in, because why not? So now he's got a little bit more of some detail for his trunk. If you don't want to do this, you don't have to, okay? But I just thought, since we're seeing his little inside of his trunk, we should see his nostrils. All right, elephant skin. When we started the school year, we did a lot of cross hatching for shading. That is what we are going to do for our elephant. Our elephant has really dry skin. They cover themselves in dust to keep like bugs away from them. They use it as a sunblock. They get in the mud. So they have this dry, wrinkly skin. So what we're looking at right here is cross hatching. I know how much you guys love to cross hatch. Everything on my elephant is crosshatched. And then I added an extra shadow around the trunk. So that way it would definitely pop out and stand out in front of everything. I added an extra shadow right around like the ears and on any little roll area that he has. So, oh guys, if you didn't notice, we forgot to draw his tail. So let's draw his little tail. Comes out like this. And then it's all these little hairs. It's almost like he's got this extra little feather on the end of his tail, you know? So make sure you're putting your little lines in. So here's his little tail. All right, let's do some cross hatching. I'm going to start with the face and I'm going to work my way out, okay? So cross hatching. If you forgot what cross hatching is, this is cross hatching. Just remember that when you're doing it on your elephant's body that you're curving it with the shape of your elephant. So I'm going to start around the edge of the eyes and I'm going to make these little curved lines. And the closer your lines are together, the darker your area will be. So keep that in mind as well. I know you guys all know this stuff and that this is just review and I'm talking to myself right now, so I always have to answer myself and it's kind of weird, but it's okay. So we are adding cross hatching around the edge of the face, top of the head, just to show that our elephant has dry skin and that he has some skin. I'm also going in the middle of his head and making those curved lines just like I did with the trunk. And then I'm just adding those cross-hatching lines with it. So our elephant has some indication that he has skin right over here. And we know which way it's going. So look really carefully. This is what I got so far. Lines closer together, pressed harder, are darker. Lines that are pressed lightly and further apart are lighter. You want to show the form on your elephant's face. I'm going to go right around the edge of the trunk right now. Get those little, right where the tusks are, get that little shadow in for them so that way we know that they're there. And I'm going to go around the top of the trunk really, really lightly, just lightly. And I'm going to go back in and add some cross hatching so he looks like he has dry skin right over in here. So I got this much so far. If you feel like I'm going too fast for you, the good part about this working at home is that you actually have like the ability to pause me. Something you don't have in class, right? All right, so I'm going to go around the edge of the trunk and I'm going to add a little bit of a shadow. So I'm just going down and I'm creating a shadow around the edge of the trunk. And then I'm going to go back in and add all these cross hatching right around the edge. But I just want his trunk to pop out. So there's this first step when you're trying to make something pop out. You're adding that shadow. We're showing form. We're showing volume. We're going to do cross hatching around the edges of the trunk. So that way our elephant has some really nice form. Last week I had some questions about whether or not kids could draw things that they're seeing from other classes. I mean, if you find that you have some extra time and you want to draw, you're more than welcome to draw anything that you see from other classes. You don't have to stick with just the stuff that's for your class. So here is the cross-hatched elephant trunk and face area. I'm going to go back in and do the ears now. I'm going to add a dark shadow right around the edge where the cartilage of the ear overlaps everything else. I'm going to add a shadow around the edge of the face. So I'm not cross-hatching right now, I'm just shading. I'm following the shape of the face so that way it kind of pops out a little bit when it's next to the ear. So our ear is behind it. And then the shadow is going to gradually fade out. So if you fill it in too much, he's going to look like he has Mickey Mouse ears. So be careful on that one. And then I'm going back in and I'm cross-hatching all of it. So we have this ear right here that has all this nice cross-hatching on it. And he's shaded out. And I'll go back in and I'll put in a little bit of shadow. Not a lot on the top. So very, very lightly, like a 1 or a 2. Some extra little shadow to help give him some depth. Okay. And then I'm going to go over here and do the same thing with this ear. I'm adding some shadow. I'm going around the side of the face and adding shadow. All right, so then our shadow is going to gradually get lighter. Let's see here. If you can hear that random sounds in the background, that's my kid doing her homework. She's watching some computer stuff. So just adding some little cross hatching in this ear, and now I have 2 ears that are shaded. I'm going to go back up in the top and add some really light cross hatching, just like I did for the other ear, because I want them to look like we've got some shadow, they got some value. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and I'm going to start working right over this way and work my way across the body. So same thing that you did with the elephant, right underneath the ear, everything should have like a nice dark shadow because your ear is overlapping the rest of your body. You should have like a little shadow around your tusks too. And you don't really need to shade your tusks unless you really want to, because your tusks are kind of really, really light anyways. Ivory is a very light color, so you don't really need to add a lot. So cross hatching, curve with the body. You want him to look like he has volume. He's not flat. You feel like you need an area that's a little bit more shadowy, go back in and add a shadow. And do this leg now. I'm doing cross hatching down the side, just like this, and over by the other side that I see. I'm going to round by his leg. Then I'm going to do cross hatching right across the side of his leg on both sides. Try to cross hatch holding this paper. I'm going to do some cross hatching right on the leg. So now I have some dry, wrinkly leg skin. Okay, I'm doing the same thing over on this side. Getting myself a nice shadow right by the tusks in the trunk. We want that stuff to stick out. It is in front of our elephant. I'm doing a nice dark shadow right around the other side of the tusk. I'm doing a nice shadow underneath the ear. I'm going to go back in and put some more cross hatching in that shadow because I want it a little bit darker than it is. I'm going to do a shadow around this little edge right here where his belly's showing. I'm I'm going to do some little cross-hatching curvy lines towards the back end of my elephant. So that way he looks like he has a nice rounded body. I'm going to go back in here and lightly cross-hatch. I'm going right in here with a shadow and some cross-hatching. And then all right in here, very, very light. Go back in and do some cross-hatching right in this area. Let's see here. Some darker cross-hatching along the edge, just like what I did with the other leg, just on the edges. And then same thing with the last leg. I would love to see some drawings from you guys. Send me some emails. I just want to know that I'm not making these videos for nothing. I want you guys to draw with me. I want you to keep doing some artwork. Sometimes it's nice to have like a little bit of a break and you get to draw and take a moment for yourself. So here is our elephant. Our elephant has nice dry skin, lots of cross hatching, nice roundness, some very good shading. I would like to see a nice value scale when you guys are doing this. Remember, lines that are darker are closer and you're pushing harder on them as you make them. Lines that are lighter, less pressure from your pencil and further away. Make your elephant look awesome. And send me a picture and show me because I love seeing stuff from you guys. And I miss you all very much. And I miss working with you. And I miss drawing with you guys. And if any of you change your elephant ears into butterfly wings or bird wings, I want to see it. All right. Have a nice weekend.